After the break-in scandal, Jungkook becomes more cautious. Is this why he's avoiding the spotlight? The city of Seoul, once the glittering stage for Jungkook's unending glow, has grown quieter around him. The lights still flicker in the distance, billboards still bear his face, and songs carrying his voice still echo across cafes and taxis, but the man himself has seemingly vanished into the shadows. Since the shocking attempted break-in at his home, fans have noticed a change, subtle yet unmistakable. Jungkook is still there, serving his duty, fulfilling his responsibilities, but he's no longer as visible, as open, or as carefree as he once was. It's not the kind of disappearance that comes from scandal or exhaustion. It's something deeper, a quiet withdrawal born out of fear, privacy, and protection. After all, when your safe space has been violated, how do you walk through the world the same way again? This question lingers heavier each time his name trends online. Jungkook, the youngest member of BTS, the man hailed as the Golden Maknae, whose career has rewritten the blueprint of global fame, is no stranger to attention. But fame, for all its glamour, has shown him its cruelest face. When Jungkook appeared in public earlier this year, his first sighting since enlisting in the military alongside Jimin, it was supposed to be a simple moment. A soldier crossing the street. A quiet day under a spring sky. Yet the world froze. His image, dressed casually in military uniform and a black cap, instantly went viral. The crowd around him blurred, and even though he was just one among many pedestrians, cameras found him anyway. That image, captured by fans and reporters alike, symbolized something bittersweet. Jungkook could never truly blend in again, no matter how ordinary he tried to be. Even in military service, a time designed to strip away celebrity, his presence still commanded headlines. But this time, the fascination carried a different tone. Fans were excited, yes, but also concerned. His body language seemed more restrained, his pace quicker, his head lowered under the brim of his cap. The young man who once greeted cameras with easy smiles now seemed intent on staying unseen, and for good reason. The break-in attempt earlier this year left an invisible scar that fans still talk about with a mix of anger and heartbreak. A stranger, a woman in her 40s, had been caught trying to enter his home, reportedly after several previous attempts. The news shook the global fandom to its core. It wasn't the first time a BTS member faced such a violation, but something about this incident hit differently. Jungkook's home was known to be his sanctuary, the one place where he cooked, read, and found peace away from the chaos of fame. To imagine someone trying to breach that peace felt personal to everyone who admired him. When he finally addressed the issue during a live stream for his 28th birthday, his words were gentle but carried weight. He smiled, joked about his new labret piercing, but his tone grew quiet when the topic of privacy arose. "Please don't come to my house," he said, eyes steady, voice careful. "I'm always thankful for your love, but home is home." It was one of those rare moments when the boundary between idol and individual was laid bare, not through scandal, but through vulnerability. Fans flooded social media with messages of support, apologizing on behalf of those who had crossed the line. But despite the love, something shifted. Jungkook seemed to retreat further after that. No more spontaneous lives. No late-night talks.
No random beverse appearances.
It was as if he had learned that even his kindness could be used against him. Behind this silence, though, his influence has only grown stronger. Even as he serves in the 5th Infantry Division, Jungkook continues to rank among the top global celebrities in popularity polls. His name remains a fixture in the top 100 most handsome faces of K-pop 2025, placing proudly at number 4. It's a reminder that even absence cannot dull his brilliance. He doesn't need to post. He doesn't need to speak. The world still listens, and yet, every fan knows that beneath the glory lies exhaustion. Fame has been both his crown and his cage. His withdrawal from the public eye has also sparked countless theories, some claiming he's preparing a major solo project post-military, others suggesting he's intentionally distancing himself from the media spotlight to reclaim normalcy. But those close to him insist it's simpler than that. He just wants to live quietly for a while, a source told local media.
He wants to reset.
To breathe. the irony of it all is painful. Jungkook's entire career has been built on connection. The way he looks into the camera, the way he laughs mid-song, the way his vulnerability bridges the gap between star and fan. But that same connection has blurred into obsession for some, transforming adoration into intrusion. In today's hyper-connected age, privacy for idols has become a myth. Every live stream is dissected, every reflection in a window analyzed for clues, every background sound speculated upon. When Jungkook casually shared glimpses of his home during a live, some fans took it as an invitation to find it. And when that curiosity turned physical, when someone actually tried to cross his threshold, it forced him to draw lines that should never have been blurred in the first place. This growing tension between visibility and safety reflects a broader crisis in K-pop. The same system that thrives on intimacy now endangers it. Artists are encouraged to open their lives to fans, to be available, relatable, authentic. But where does authenticity end and exploitation begin? For Jungkook, the answer seems clear now. He's learning to exist on his own terms, to protect his silence, to turn away from the noise when it becomes too loud. His choice to stay out of the spotlight isn't cowardice or distance, it's self-preservation. And maybe, after everything he's endured, that's the bravest act of all. Still, there's an undeniable ache in the air. Armies miss him. The spontaneous laughter, the unplanned melodies, the way he used to appear at 2 a.m. just to say hello. But even in his absence, they've grown protective rather than demanding. The trending hashtags no longer beg for content. They pray for peace. And maybe that's the evolution of love in its truest form, learning when to let go, when to give someone space to heal. Jungkook has always carried himself with humility, even as his name filled stadiums. Now that humility has turned inward, a quiet reminder that behind every global superstar is a person who bleeds, breaks, and rebuilds. Time, he will return. Not as the boy who always waved at the crowd, but as the man who learned to protect himself from it. Until then, the world waits, not with impatience, but with empathy. And perhaps that's what Jungkook has been asking for all along. Not endless applause, not obsession disguised as affection, but understanding, a respect for boundaries, a chance to simply live. After all, even the brightest stars need darkness to rest, and as the months pass, the silence around Jungkook begins to take on a rhythm of its own. Not emptiness, but intentional quiet. It's the kind of silence that speaks louder than any live stream or performance ever could. Seoul moves on. BTS continues to dominate the global consciousness even from afar. Yet Jungkook's absence has left a space that fans can feel deeply, like a missing note in a melody they've memorized by heart. When Jungkook enlisted in December last year alongside Jimin, it was seen as the closing of one chapter and the quiet promise of another. The group had faced the inevitable, South Korea's mandatory military service, and fans worldwide accepted it with grace and pride. After years of performing, traveling, and giving every ounce of himself to the world, Jungkook deserved rest, structure, and normalcy. What no one could have predicted, however, was how much the invasion of his privacy would transform that rest into withdrawal.